Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will be discussing the solutions of exercise 1.1 of chapter 1, sets of class 11. In this video, we will be discussing the questions 1, 2, 3 of the first exercise. So let's move on to the first question. So the question number 1 is, which of the following are sets? Justify your answer. So the first part is the collection of all the months of a year beginning with the letter J. So we have to check whether this collection is a set or not. In the last video, we discussed what a set means. A set is a well-defined collection of objects. So we have to check here whether the given collection is well-defined or not. What is the meaning of well-defined? That also we discussed in the last video. It means that the collection which you are taking should not vary from person to person, which means if anyone in the world is taking the collection, it should be the same. Then we call that collection a set. So here the given question is the collection of all the months of a year beginning with the letter J. We know that the months starting with J are January, June, July. This collection does not vary from person to person, which means that anyone who chooses the month starting with the letter J, then it will be the same. Hence, it is a well-defined collection. Therefore, we can say that it is a set. Therefore, the first part of the question is a set. Let's move on to the part B of the first question. The part B is the collection of 10 most talented writers of India. So, the talent means we know that it varies from person to person. Some people will be interested in reading that stories which consist of emotions, and some will be interested in reading horror. So the talent, it depends from person to person. So here, this collection, we can say that it varies from person to person. Hence, it is not well defined. Therefore, it is not a set. Let's move on to the part C of the question. And here it is, the collection is a team of 11 best cricket batsmen of the world. So this collection, if it is chosen by different persons, then it will surely vary because the collection will depend upon the favorism of the person choosing. So this collection also varies from person to person. Hence, it is not well defined. So it is not a set. Let's move on to the part D of the question. Here the collection is the collection of all boys in your class. It is a fixed collection, which means that if anyone in your school or anyone outside is choosing this collection, then the boys in your class will remain the same. No other extra person will be added to the collection. So this collection, it does not vary from person to person. Hence, it is well defined. Therefore, it is a set. Let's move on to the part E of the first question. And it is the collection of all natural numbers less than 100. So this collection, if anyone in the world is choosing this collection, then it will consist of 1, comma, 2, comma, 3, comma, and it will go on, right? Etc. And it is given the natural numbers less than 10. So the last one in this collection will be 99 because 100 cannot be included. So which form I have written the set? This form is called the roster form, which we have already discussed in the last video. If you are not aware of this form representation of the set, then you can refer to the last video. So the collection of all natural numbers less than 100 can be listed like this. So any person in the world who is writing this collection will get the same set. It will not vary. So what we can say? Let me rub this. So we can say that this collection is a well-defined set. The collection is same throughout. Hence, it is a set. Is that clear? Let's move on to the part F of the first question. And here it is a collection of novels written by the writer Munshi Premchand. For sure, it is also a well-defined collection because the novels written by Munshi Premchand will not vary from person to person because the novels written are fixed. Therefore, this collection is also a set. Now let's move on to the part G of the first question. So here it is given the collection of all even integers. So we know what is meant by even integers. So this collection, the starting number will be, there will be no starting because the given numbers are integers, right? Integers means all the negative numbers, 0, and all the natural numbers will be included. So this collection, we don't know where it starts. So we'll be putting like this, etc. And we'll be listing some of the numbers, right? -2 is an even integer. Then comes 0 is an even integer. Then comes 2, then comes 4, then 6, and so on. It will go on like this, right? So these all are the even integers. So if you are writing it in the roster form, then we have to enclose this within the braces. So if anyone is choosing this collection, it will remain the same. There will be no change. Okay. So what we can say? Um, we can say that this collection is also well defined, right? Let me rub this. Okay. So this collection is also a well defined. Therefore, it is a set. Clear? Let's move on to the part H of the first question. Here it is given the collection of questions in this chapter. Of course, the number of questions is fixed and it will not vary from person to person. Anyone who is writing the collection of questions in this chapter, it will be the same, right? So this collection is well defined. Therefore, it is a set. Okay. Now let's move on to the part I of the first question. Here the given collection is a collection of most dangerous animals of the world. Okay, so this collection, it will vary from person to person because some person will be afraid of cockroaches. So for them, the most dangerous animals will be cockroaches. For some will be afraid of snakes. So for them, it will be snakes. For some, it will be lion. For some, it will be leopard. So it will vary from person to person. So this collection varies from person to person. Hence, it is not well defined. Therefore, it is not a set. Clear? So, this is all about the first question. Now, let us move to the second question of the exercise 1. So, here is the question. Let A equal to set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. insert the appropriate symbol. The symbol is read as belongs to, or if you are putting a cross mark on this symbol, it is read as does not belong to in the blank spaces. So here we have given 6 options, and in each of these options we have to fill the blank space with either of these symbols. Okay, so this symbol means belongs to, this symbol means does not belongs to, and the set capital A is given. So let's look at the first part. So here in the first part it is given 5. Just check whether the element 5 belongs to the set A or not. Yes, clearly the element 5 is in set A. So what symbol should be here? Yes, therefore we should write 5 belongs to capital A. Okay, now let's move on to the second part. So here the given element is 8. Just see whether 8 belongs to the set capital A or not. Clearly the element 8 is not in capital A. So we will be giving the symbol 8 does not belong to capital A. Now move to the third part. It is given 0. Clearly, 0 is also not an element of the set capital A. So we will denote it by the symbol does not belong to. And it is read as 0 does not belong to capital A. The fourth part is the element 4. So here we can see that the element 4 belongs to the set capital A. So we will denote it by the symbol belongs to, and it is read as 4 belongs to capital A. Now the fifth part, the given element is 2. So here we can observe that the element 2 is in the set capital A. So we will denote it as 2 belongs to capital A. Similarly, the sixth part you can do by yourself, right? This means the element 10, clearly it is not in capital A. So it can be written as does not belong to. Is that clear? That is all about the second question of exercise 1.1. So now let's move on to the third question. In the third question, it is given that write the following sets in a roster. The elements, then we have to separate them by commas, and then they should be enclosed within the curly braces. And it was discussed in detail in the last video. Let's move on to the first part of the question. In the first part, the set given is capital A equal to set of all x such that x is an integer and minus 3 less than or equal to x less than 7. So the given set, it is given in set builder form. So we have to convert it into a roster form. Okay, so we know what are the integers which lies between minus 3 and 7. And here you should be careful that here in the collection minus 3 is included because here there is an equal sign. But the number 7, it is not included. So it should be carefully noted. So here the integers between minus 3 and 7, including minus 3, are minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Therefore, it should can be written in the roster form as first the elements are listed, then they are separated by commas, and then they are enclosed within the curly braces. This is the roster form for the first part. Clear? Now, let's move on to the second part of the third question. Here the given set is capital B equal to set of all x such that x is a natural number less than 6. So you should be careful which set of numbers is given here? In the first part, it was integers. In the second part, it is natural numbers. So we know that the natural numbers less than 6 are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have to write them in roster form. So here the elements should be listed, then they should be separated by commas and then enclosed within the curly braces. Now, let's move on to the third part of the third question. So here the given set is capital C equal to set of all x such that x is a two-digit natural number such that the sum of its digits is 8. So here we have to find those two-digit natural numbers whose sum of the digits is 8. So here the thing should be noted is that it should be a two-digit number. Clear? We have to find those. So here it should be written that two-digit natural numbers whose sum of the digits is 8. So which will be the smallest two-digit number such that the sum of the digits will be 8? Of course, it will be 17. Okay, so we will be starting with 17. So the first number is 17 because here 1 plus 7 equal to 8. Now, how can we find the remaining elements of this collection? That is, those two-digit natural numbers whose sum of the digits is 8. So here is the trick. We increase the digit in the 10th place. So here in the first element, the 10th place is 1, right? So what we will be doing, we will be increasing the 10th place by 1 and we decrease the number in the ones place by 1. Okay, so we will move on by doing this. Then what will be the next element? The next element will be here we will be increasing by 1. So this will become 2 and here we will decrease by 1. It will become 6. Okay. So we have to continue this process until the ones place, this place becomes 0. Till that time we have to continue. So the elements which we will be getting will be 26. Then we have to add 1 in the tens place. It will become 3 and decrease 1 from the ones place. Then it will be 5. Move on like this. We will be getting the numbers 44, 53, 62, 71 and 80. Here in the ones place we got 0. So we will be stopping here. Okay. And we can observe that in each of these elements, the sum of the digits is 8. So we have to write it in the roster form. So we list all the elements, separate them by commas and enclose them within the curly braces. Is that clear? So it is a very nice question and it is one of the important questions of this part. Let's move on to the fourth part of the third question. Here the given set is capital D equal to set of all x such that x is a prime number which is divisor of 60. So we have to find those prime numbers which is a divisor of 60. Divisor of 60 means we have to find the factors of 60 and those factors should be prime number. So first of all, let us discuss what is meant by a prime number. So here is the definition. Any natural number greater than 1 which is divisible by 1 and its own is called a prime number. So the number 1 is neither a prime nor a composite number. So the prime number should be greater than 1 and those numbers should be divisible by 1 and the number its own. No other factors it should have. Then that numbers are called prime numbers. So here we have to find those prime numbers which are factors of 60. So we have to find those prime numbers that is a factor of 60. So what we will do? We will factorize 60. So 60 can be written as 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. So what all are the prime factors of 60? They are 2, 3, and 5. So we have to write it in the roster form. We have to list the elements, separate them by commas, and enclose within the braces. So this is the roster form of the given set. Clear? So here the thing to be noted is that here the factor 2 is coming 2 times in the prime factorization of 60. But while writing in the roster form, we never repeat the same element twice. That is the rule in the roster form, which we have discussed in detail in the last video. If you are not aware of the properties of roster form, then you can visit to the last video, which can be found in the playlist. Okay, so let's move on to the fifth part of the third question. So here the given set is capital E equal to the set of all letters in the word trigonometry. So we know that in roster form, repetition of letters are not allowed. Okay, so first we will be listing those distinct letters. We don't need the repeated ones. Okay, so this point is to be noted. We have to list those distinct letters in the word trigonometry. So what all are the letters? T, R, I, G, O, N. O we will not take because it is already taken. M, E, T we won't take, R we won't take, and Y. So here is the roster form of the set capital E. Clear? Okay. So let's move on to the sixth part of the third question. So here the given set capital F is the set of all letters in the word better. So this also you can do by your own. We know that repetition of the letters are not allowed in roster form. So we have to take those distinct letters in this word, and then the roster form will be capital F equal to set B, comma E, comma T, comma R. Is that clear? So thus, in this video, we have discussed the first 3 questions of exercise 1.1 of class 11, and the remaining questions will be discussed in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, then please subscribe my channel to get the further videos notifications and like the video. Thank you. Have a nice day.